All right. What about Giannis coming to the Pistons? I think we all see Milwaukee. Um, we all see Milwaukee's window closing. You know, and we know Giannis is eventually gonna get out of there, as Ray Allen did, as Kareem Abdul-Jabbar did. And former Pistons thinks the Pistons could attract Giannis Antetokounmpo. They think they can attract Giannis to the Detroit Pistons, and ultimately, to me, that's interesting. To keep it funky, that's very, very interesting. To see if they could attract him to uh, to the Detroit Pistons. So, I don't know. I just seen the headline, so I don't know who it is. I thought it was a good. Um, I thought it was a good video to put up. So, I mean, ultimately, ultimately, uh, it sounds good. Milwaukee trading them into the division, maybe not so likely. Um, Most people think like here figuratively, where most superstars end up at LA, somewhere like that. Um, Also, some people might say, "Oh, he might end up on, um, what's the other squad? Miami, Boston. Just throwing some name. Not saying he will. He might end up on, one of those popular places. So yeah, some of these markets I figure why they're not bigger than what they are, but like Atlanta, Houston, Dallas, I thought it was pretty big mark. But let's see. So let's see. He says, I think it said former player. My bad, not former Piston, former player. So they saying that Lou Williams is. This is what Lou Williams is saying. So let's take a look to what Lou is saying. Let's go.
So I got him.
You know how
Just the one.
LaMelo Ball, we were talking about him, like we don't know if people want to go play with him as a guy. Do you think people want to go play with Cade?
Yes.
Like
think so.
like
It's a
more
lot more
so than
seriousness.
Melo.
I think he's establishing that.
I don't even think of him as 23. Like I
Yeah.
think of him as an older person.
Yeah,
just
he's
because.
he's establishing that
mature.
he's gonna be one of these guys that's gonna help you compete at a high level, and that's how it goes. Like we're talking about all of these guys. You look around the league and you say, well, who can I help and who can help me get championship rings? Who can help me compete at a high level? And Cade Cunningham is gonna be one of those guys.
When you say yes to the
So
one,
it might be a guy like a Giannis that's looking like, you know what? I need to go link up with this young guy, and this might push us both forward.
do you picture it in Detroit? Like when you say yes to Cade?
Yeah, listen, Detroit has a rich history
Absolutely.
of basketball. So has it been great recently? Absolutely not. But let's not forget the Detroit runs with Chauncey and all those guys. They had the league on fire. Great fan base, great place to play basketball, great place to go do your thing. I don't see why not.
He's gonna be there for a really long time too. Like,
For basketball reasons, by the way.
I think he has a really, really bright future. I think he's a star in the making, superstar in the making, actually. But it's still early. He's still very young. They are on the right path, but he's still a little wet behind the ears. Breath smell like Similac a little bit. So let's take baby steps. Let's keep growing, keep figuring things out. But definitely has a bright future. I can't speak on championships yet. Let's get to the playoffs.
Boogie, that's the whole segment.
Yeah, but I'm just not there yet. I'm not there yet.
All right, man. You heard him, man, and you heard him. You heard him. So, you heard him. So, I mean, I pretty much definitely agree with him. I think shout out to Lou Will. Remember hearing about him in high school. Shout out to Lou Will, man, and you know, so, but I agree. It was, I think a lot of people that play Detroit, they enjoy playing in Detroit. They enjoy the atmosphere. They enjoy the atmosphere. They enjoy the city and the whole nine, bro. So, it's a lot to do. I know a lot of people, don't really know. But who's there to do? I mean, we got casinos before they close. Before they close the border down, made it so hard to get over there. You used to go to Canada, the Caesars, and all that type of stuff. So yeah, a lot of people really wouldn't know these things coming here. It's a lot to do. It's a lot of minis. Not far from Chicago, not far from New York, not too far from Florida. You know what I'm saying? Take 75 straight down. So yeah, it's a lot to do, man. And I think very underrated place. And I think a lot of people move out of Detroit. They kind of miss some of the amenities of being around Detroit. Detroit actually gets this, reputation for, being like the wild, wild west where you can die and all that. And I mean, that's it. Most cities that can happen. Most cities that can happen. But when you got paper, you ain't, unless you Jameson Williams, dumbass, you ain't going nowhere near them places. You know what I'm saying? When you got paper, you ain't going nowhere near them places. Real talk. When you got paper, you ain't going nowhere near them places. But yeah, I like the idea of, Giannis, but they got to prove some things in the next couple of years and make gigantic leaps just to get him attracted to wanting to come here. But they window's closed. Chris Middleton out there on his last leg. I didn't really understand with them going to get I didn't understand what them going to get what's the old buddy name? Kyle Kuzma, not a great spot up shooter, not a great defender, just seemed to be more. And I like Kuzma. He just a wild child. He don't have any structure in this game. And that's why the Washington Wizards didn't win more games than they should have won. Because the shot selection between him and Jordan Poole, man, it's nasty. They don't play with any. Same thing with the Charlotte Hornets. You look at the talent. They don't play with no structure. They don't play the game the right way. When you talk about the total opposite of playing the game the right way, that's the Charlotte Hornets, the Washington Wizards. You know what I'm saying? They don't play with any structure. Even when the Pistons was losing, it wasn't they was playing like bad or unstructured basketball. They just didn't really have the coach to really put them in position to be successful and the veterans around them. And that could be said true about the Hornets and somewhat about the Wizards, but they just play a LA Fitness style of basketball. But back to Giannis, I mean, it'd be a great fit in Detroit, but obviously you probably see the big fella trying to get to one of those LA markets, New York markets, to maximize his earning potential. But if Detroit really trending the way they trending with K, then people know it's a real basketball town, and people know what's up. They already know when the city of Detroit is winning basketball games, man. It's nowhere like it in the NBA. There's nowhere like it in the NBA, and that's a fact. So yeah, let me know what you girls and guys think. Thumbs up the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel. Next subscribe button is the bell icon button. Hit all notifications, increase your chance, get notifications. We go live and drop video. Hit the link tree, follow me everywhere. Peace.